So we headed out onto Texas for our next big adventure. First up was the town of El Paso, right by the river and right next to Juarez, Mexico. Soon after, we passed the exit for Fort Hancock, Texas. That's where Andy crossed the border to freedom. It was a very long drive to Southwest Texas. The drive was mostly a 4-lane highway through small towns. We loved looking at the murals they painted on the sides of their buildings. Some interesting sights in the desert included a Border Patrol blimp, a viewing site for the famous Marfa lights. These mystery desert lights have been seen by our friends Mike and Lori, so they absolutely must be real. And we also passed by an art installation of a Prada store. After 8 hours through the hot desert, we arrived to our campground in Lajita, Texas. This is where we rode our bikes along the Rio Grande River, and it was so close to the Mexico border. As we headed out the next day, we stopped at the general store to pick up snacks and lunches. Thanks, Aunt Carol, for the spending money. Love you. The sandwiches were yummy. Inside, the store is staffed by these cute girls who are work campers. They travel from park to park throughout the year, visiting the country while they're working. Our RV park was close to a ghost town called Terlinga. Terlinga is where mercury was mined during World War I and World War II. Soon we arrived to Big Bend National Park. Big Bend is where dinosaurs actually roamed the earth. Look at this fossil of a giant sea turtle. And of course, Eric just had to stick his head into this dinosaur. I didn't make him do this, really I didn't. We spent hours driving around the park, stopping and looking at interesting exhibits. We loved the flat mesas that they had. We loved that sometimes it was wet and green, and a lot of the time it was dry desert. We tried to get Scotty to get out of the car to look at the sign for the Chihuahua Desert, but he wasn't that interested. Climbed a lot of steps to get that picture. We ate lunch here with this turkey vulture along the Rio Grande. There's usually a border crossing here at the park, but of course it's still closed. The park is known for the tremendous amount of ocotillo they have throughout the park. After visiting the park in 2 days of 115-degree heat, we headed northeast to Central Texas. We went through the historic town of Fort Stockton, Texas. And once we arrived to Central Texas, we were met by a rainstorm, a huge cell passing over us.